Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Cashflow Digital, where we have Mike. I'm trying to point all over the place here. Mike and B-Rad as normal, and a guy with an amazing shirt, Mr. Clint Butler, is this week's special guest. So, Clint, thank you very much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have smart guys on here, and you certainly fit the bill.
It's a pleasure thing
about me and Brad, Craig.
Get a little deep around here, smart guys. I don't know.
Smart ass, baby.
Mike and Brad are just like me now. We're just fucking statues on these things. We have to play up to the guest strength. But someone's got some feedback coming on.
I assume it's Mike.
Yeah. It's always Mike. Just blame Mike for any of the shit
That's
stuff.
what I do, yeah.
But before while we're just letting people jump in on the show, guys, you can ask questions, put them in the live chat. Also, check out our sponsor, ODYS. Their link should be in the description. You can get a free £100 sign up if you're looking for aged domains or done for you affiliate websites. And that is pretty much it. But so what have we got for this week? What is going to be the topic, Mike?
We are going to be talking about some content on off-page type of stuff. And we're going to start with asking Clint about some link building to kick it off. Looking at it from an optimization standpoint, looking at it from the page structure and whether it's internal or external, essentially. So I don't know what you're running right now, but I'm assuming you're creating content, distributing it, and doing that thing called marketing. So if you want to go into your current thoughts and theories on what the hell's going on when it comes to like passages, like to me, passages is just freaking shingles and all the patents that have come for fucking, the last decade and a half. But, go at it. Everyone, that's for you two, Brad and Craig. I'll kick it off if need be.
Did you say you have shingles, Mike?
Yeah, I do have shingles, bro. Got a lot of shingles, dude.
Yeah.
I think they have shots for that now.
Yeah, they do. And we, a buddy of mine was working on a process that we use, and Brad and I have used this process forever. When we sell marketing, we sell it as a unit. We sell content and linking as advertising. So we craft the KPIs basically so that we can't fail. And that's I had a conversation the other day, and it was the question was, what do I do if someone asks for a refund? And the obvious answer was fucking refund them. But I also pointed out the fact that they're getting asked for a refund and they fucking failed the contract from the day one. And the way I look at it is when you go to sell a contract, you need to know that client, what their pain is, and you need to sell them on the KPIs that hit their pain, that you can succeed in, like without a chance of failure. So that's the way I look at it. What's your strategy when we get into selling content or doing content for people when you come to sell it? Are you selling straight SEO, keyword ranking, or are you selling traffic increase, revenue increase? How are you selling it for those out there that are doing agency work?
For me, I sell SEO. So what is SEO? It's ranking, right? So that's what I'm offering. I mean, I'm boosting your site and I'm ranking it higher. To make that profitable for a business owner, though, you kind of have to do the CRO and copy and new content and all that other stuff, right? But I make sure that I'm not selling sales and leads because I'm not on the other end of that phone for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Sales especially, yeah.
You can't rely. That's why you have to craft KPIs. That's why I like traffic when it can be sold. Not traffic sales, not selling them a visit, but having the KPI of traffic increases. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Because I can control that. I can make that happen in good ways and in fucking shady ways in the past. Not that I do that anymore, but that's something that you can absolutely control as a marketer, depending on which side of that line you actually live on. If you're in the dark arts, or your force is light and shit like that, like Yoda, it's.
Do you have a green light?
Dude, what is this color of his lightsaber, dude? It's got to be blue or green.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess he is in the light. Yeah.
Who knows what color Yoda's saber is, dude?
It's green, for sure.
Yeah, there we go. We're gonna have to look it up.
Post in the comments who watches Mandalorian, or am I the only one on here that watches it?
That's a good show, dude.
It's solid. Yeah.
No, it's really good. And so what we have done in the past is we'll see what the market is, and we'll sell this content and linking unit, right? So we sell it as the content. We have a controlled cost on always. We know exactly what that cost is, so we can sell that at a huge markup, and that's the way you make money. I mean, content can be sold with a giant markup, and the link building. Even though there's a flat cost, we've never found that it's successful to sell that as, you're going to pay us for this link to a corporation that's a large corporation. They just don't think like that. They think like they're advertising. So pulling in the backlinks into a single package with the content and calling it outreach and giving them a certain amount of hours when you sell that has seemed to work.
Yeah, they understand billable hours.
Yeah. And then you can turn SEO into an actual advertising sale rather than looking at it from a mystique type of I'm an SEO, I'm playing with my freaking toys and making shit move. You're literally just matter of fact, black or white, selling them a fucking product, a unit of advertising. It's a click essentially, even though it's not a click, right? And that means that they can't fucking complain if you hit the KPI goals. And you can calculate those very easily by looking at the market. So this is kind of the strategy we've taken. And I want to kind of talk about this for people in the audience because there's a lot of people.
Why? Just real quick, Mike.
Go ahead, Brad.
Probably be a good story. Why we switched from that, because we used to
go for it.
Primarily approach it from a traffic perspective or an SEO perspective, but they still didn't get it. So we had a client. We took them from. What did we take them from? 8 to 100 something thousand a month.
8,000 to like 120,000 in like 4 months, something like that.
So they came to us all of a sudden, and it's because they didn't have the money to pay us because they misallocated funds, not in a
they did a horrible job
not in
with
a legal way, but I'm not going to say not in a bad way because I consider it a bad way. But they came to us essentially because they couldn't pay us, but they were putting it on us and our SEO. So I said, look at this one article. It's increased from here to here. Look at this. We would have done that anyway. So I said, Mike, going forward, we need to come up with a way to where they can't do this to us anymore. Like if they come back to us and they're not going to come back to me and tell me I didn't do my job, essentially.
Right, exactly.
So that's when we came up with the deliverables, turning this essentially service business into more of a product business. So we came up with the content plus linking, which we were already essentially doing. But we came up with specific deliverables is the biggest thing that I learned from that contract because we knocked it out of the park from them.
Huge change in sales, man. At that point, it felt like there was no failure in campaigns and there was no failure in sales. I don't think we've lost a sale ever since then, to be honest with you. I can't think of one that we haven't closed after we sold it.
It makes it much easier when you're selling it, and you can tell them exactly what they're getting, what you're going to charge. I've seen the meme. It's like I think it's Orange County Chopper guys where they're getting in the big fight. It's like client, what's your prices? Me, what's your budget? Client, what's your prices? Me, what's your budget? And then they're throwing the fucking trash cans and shit. So yeah, you just get out of that loop essentially when you start offering that type of service.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, so what are there struggles you have selling SEO? Do you think thinking about what we just talked about? Do you see that maybe it could help any issues you've had in the past? Because I know the issues I had in the past selling it as SEO. I know it solved a lot of those. It of course didn't solve all of them. It's business, but I wonder what you think about that, dude.
You're asking me?
Yeah, Clint. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, Clint wasn't paying attention.
Who's talking to you?
For more,
right?
Yeah, I like the idea. I like the concept. That sounds really good. And I think as probably as you get around and you're getting into this industry and you start talking to people, you find that you are competing against the bottom feeders. The people that are telling everyone they can do they can rank for X, Y, and Z for 297 a month. And, you know, anyone who's been doing this long enough knows you can't wipe your ass with 297 a month. So, you know, how are they legitimately providing that stuff?
You can, but it's a poor use of $297.
Yeah.
You can wipe your ass.
It's not ethical in my eyes, you know. It's just like at that
You're
point
just taking their money. Yeah.
You're taking their money and then you're walking off. And then, you know, guys like you and I come in there where we're asking, you know, what we're worth and what the work is worth. And we have to fight against that. So it sounds to me like the content and link building positioned as advertising might just translate a little bit better and get away from that whole SEO.
I found that, like, especially for, you know, we've tried to do it with like smaller local clients, and it's a freaking messy deal, dude. Like,
yeah,
you've got to
do it with local clients. You've got to restructure and come up with different deliverables. You've got to do, you know, citation building because the client can understand that. You got to do this, and then you just go into, you know, you can simply go into Bright Local or whatever, and just order a citation package every month, and then give them that deliverable every month.
You have to have something that's
local. Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm. They just don't have the money to make it worthwhile for everybody, because once you synergize this correctly, you're getting into hardcore optimization of like hierarchical freaking whatever clusters, but that, like, straight up, like, once you get to a certain point, you're murdering SEO like you would not believe, because now you can leverage your knowledge to fucking destroy it at a low cost for a company that is making, I think in payday, we took them from 1.6 million a week to 9.6 million or so, 9.7 million a week in a period. So the first year or two, it kind of stuck around 5 million, and then we shot it up with more content and linking. Well, actually, it was mostly links.
We started linking to the root.
Yeah, we started linking the root as well as the subdomain. We took the root over from the other company.
The initial contract was just the root, just the location.
Yeah, that's when we hired Ryan Stewart or whatever to. Never mind.
They were working on the route for a while, and we only had the local.
Yeah, T did that. T hired him out, but once we took over the route, it shot from that up another 4 million a week because of the methodology we were using with that unit right there. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is when you take a look at that kind of optimization. So Brad, when there was a purchase of like a $60,000 domain, went in there like for a day or 2 or 3 with one of our content people and just fucking popped that revenue up like 100+%, you know, without doing shit. And got a buddy who just popped the same methodology. It's all the same thing. Like we've all crafted the same methodology together for a few years, at least 6 or so. And the latest one, dude, with all this shit coming out, it like the updates are just doing nothing but helping SEOs that know how to deal with the content structures throughout the web. And I'm not talking about on site. I'm talking about like true topical clusters and everything. And that went from 2,000 visits a day to 99,000 visits a day in 4 fucking days, dude. 4 fucking days to gain what 1,000% is that shit right there? I don't know, but the point is, what's that?
Was the server set up for that? Were they ready?
That was just an optimization of the clusters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the server could handle that.
Yes, they were ready for it. They were ready for it. It's a large brand in a market that's extremely popular. Okay. Top 3 CPC market. And that's the thing. It's just repeatable all the time. And one of the things that people in the audience need to take away is that chasing all these ninja tactics and shit on social media and in different courses and everything, it's not a good productive use of your time. Realistically, all of you who are always asking about SOPs every week, this is why I bring this up, is I want to talk about Clint's SOPs and then talk about also other things you can throw in to make that work. And I think instead of focusing on tactics, people need to be focusing on their content strategy and their linking strategy as a whole, and not worry about other shit. Because realistically, it doesn't matter where you're getting those links or whatever, but as long as you're building this shit and you understand topic and you understand relevance, then you're going to be successful in SEO in your campaigns, especially when you start crafting your KPIs. So do you mind going into your SOPs, Clint? I don't want you to get into too much that's like personal and to you, but maybe some stuff that would help the dudes and gals in the audience.
Not really. It's, I think a lot of it I've taken, like anyone who knows me knows that I shamelessly steal your ideas and I'll use them and turn them into something for me. So I started off with just using phrase. I use phrase for content. I'll write out the content and then use the topics that are popped out of that. That gets me, typically what I do there is I'll get it up to 100%. It's just essentially it's content stuffing, right?
Phrase does good briefs, man. I really do. I've paid attention to Phrase for years now, and I think they do good briefs.
Yeah, they're doing good, and then they've updated and some stuff. They got a little bit of trouble when they came out of the AppSumo. That was like the number one AppSumo in quite some time, and then they got kind of off kilter for a little bit, but they're getting back now. But anyway, after I do that, I take that. Say again.
Right.
Okay.
Is that that's the answer engine?
There's just 700.
Move. Damn it.
And then I take that content out.
I'm getting a new connection on Thursday, so freaking A, dude. This is 5 connections supporting this.
Yeah, I think you
go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
Tell the gerbils to run faster.
Right.
And then I take that content and I was kind of hesitant to do it, but you guys were always talking about cognitive SEO and that content editor in there, so I tried that out. And I was killing it. It was just ranking pages with just phrase and content or cognitive SEO. And phrases that are hard for most people to rank, like keyword analysis, keyword research service. I was just doing that with just on page. And then I started adding in links because they have really good knowledge graph diagrams, visualizations, and then the exports out of there. And making sure that I'm hitting all that stuff, and then I couple that with schema. And if you're doing your schema right, man, you can kill it. Just doing that, you know what I mean? So you get all the hard work done with the on page and the schema, and then after that, it's just link building. So
once you see it, once you see how the content fits, like you have, man, it really makes a difference in every single campaign because, like you said. You can go walk around I'm a consultant. I go to people and I increase their freaking revenue just by touching their site. And that's literally a business model, once you understand content and you have the resources to implement a campaign behind it for link building, you're done, dude. That's SEO, man. It's over. Yeah. There's nothing else, honestly.
I find for me, like on the content part, just staying on that is one, learn how to write it, learn how to present it, learn how to format it the way the machine wants it to, while at the same time taking into account the user, right?
Exactly.
And then on the other side of that, also you have to be a little bit of a copywriter and be able to actually help that and turn that into something better. Like Brad's mentioned some books, and I don't know if you're still on the ClickFunnels Russell Brunson that book set. Man, I bought that off of your recommendation. I've been reading that thing over and over and over again. So it's in
book story offer.
Yeah. Yep. And then Joe, the copyright books, Joe Sugarman's and all that stuff. Read that stuff because it all.
Did you get the one put out by the gym guy with the goatee, Clint?
Who's that?
He's the guy that does Funnel Fridays with Russell. His copywriting book is pretty decent. Of course, they want to sell you funnel scripts. It's the purple one, Copywriting Secrets, probably. Copywriting. What it's called. That one's solid.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
It's nice that the software's out there now because back when I was like pitching freaking Jose Cuervo and freaking Land Rover and all these major brands.
Jose Cuervo, but that's about it. I've never
right.
Yeah.
So when we were working with those guys, we would have to build these funnels overnight. We get the RFP one day and we'd have to have that in the next morning. So we'd sit there. We'd have to have our damn developers and our designers there to get it done, and we just fucking put the funnel together in like 12 hours, build it out. But now the software's there to support it. It's made it very easy, and people. out there, if you don't understand a funnel, you know, I was harping on you for pixels last time, but that ties directly into these damn funnels we're talking about. If you don't understand a funnel, you really should pick up the books that Brad and Craig are talking about right now. They're damn good. And you do need to understand the funnel, because once you understand the funnel, now you can start to use your tools and tactics and build out a real fucking campaign strategy that transcends a single website, you know, and transcends a single tactic. So the gimmicks are cool, but getting into the tools and tactic level of thinking is extremely important, so that you can start to look at what Clint's saying about think about the bot, but also think about the user. Using shit like cloaking, you actually now can start doing both at the same time and avoiding any issue with it and shit. So
what's your opinion, Mike? Would you consider cloaking black hat or black art? Or what would you consider?
It's absolutely defined by the person that's doing it, and you have to define black hat for yourself. And I define it, and I know you define it a certain way. For me, it's just if it's illegal, it's black hat. If it's not, then it's fine. I don't care about it.
When you say illegal, you don't mean against Google terms of service.
No, terms of service is just there to freaking stop people from doing what they want to do, because Google doesn't want them to, or Facebook doesn't want them to. You know, they can always go out. They go after people. They sue people for certain things. There was a guy when we were mashing on AdSense really hard that took his script, his clickjacking script into Google, into the headquarters, and tried to blackmail fucking Google, dude. And they took him to court, and they prosecuted him civilly. And when they got to the end of this case, and the judge was asking Google to define clickjacking, they dropped the charges and they dropped the case, because they didn't want to define it, because they didn't want people to understand what was going on in their advertising platform. And I'll tell you, I have personally seen, I don't know how to say this. I'm going to keep this. I'll keep that to myself, actually. But you almost got me, Craig.
Well, the more people that know about that type of stuff, I mean, yeah, the more trouble Google be in. So their process right now is to look at accounts for abnormalities and then shut down the accounts, right? Essentially, that's the route that they took. Yeah, absolutely.
And they continue to do it. It still works if you're doing it right. Like, you don't hear about it a lot, but there's people that are smashing it right now. To me, it's a pain in the ass game, and I'd never touch it again. But
it's a hustle for sure.
It is.
That part of it is, yeah.
But then again, you think about it, it's the same thing. If you understand the content and the backlinking, the way the traffic flows, and you understand tactics like cloaking, then that shit just becomes another monetization method that you can slap onto a domain that's doing other things, you know? And that's the point. You know, we're talking Brad and I are talking, Craig's talking, and Clint are talking at SEO Rockstars coming up here on the 17th. Is that what it is?
Yeah, 17th through the 20th now. They just added Lori added another day. So,
and it's nice because we get to talk about a lot of diversification again. And when you really understand the tactics and everything, then your strategy can include diversification on every page. So you might have a page that's you built this domain just to support the relevancy for one of your major brands, but now that page has AdSense on it. It has a pixel for ad roll for Facebook and for Google on it. It also has a lead cap form. So you're starting, like, hit that page in the rankings, then you're starting like 4 or 5 revenue streams right then and there that are also going to push up into your main brand. So when you start to understand this stuff, doors open and shit is really easy to see and actually handle with the tools you have, you know?
Yeah.
So
it looks like a bunch of people are asking for the book. It's Copywriting Secrets is one. It's written similar to how Brunson writes all his. Jim, I can't remember his last name, is the guy that wrote it, but just Google Copywriting Secrets, you'll come across it.
Can you also, Glenn at Mike are asking for someone to provide a good reference for SEO cloaking?
Yeah, we're going to do that for you. Craig has been freaking harping since the beginning of the show. So we got it.
I've been watching and you've been teasing it every episode. You're like, oh, we're cloaking. Well, tell me about it. No, not this week. Maybe next week.
Yeah, it's going to get real freaking quick here, guys, this month. So about a week and a half or 2, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, we look forward to it.
I think it'll be fun.
Do you think cloaking is even necessary if you can get your content and your links done right? Do you really have to trick the bots if you're
not necessary? But I can tell you right now, I can take any website that someone puts at me, and I can increase the revenue by at least 40% with it, no matter what. Maybe 20, maybe that's a little aggressive, but it's absolutely money on the table if you're not doing certain things. And there's so many things that cloaking is. The stuff that the SEO community talks about is not even scratching the surface of what's capable. And
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. It's deep. And we're going to open up some eyes to it because it's a skill set that we've been developing for freaking a decade plus. And it's made a huge difference in the way we make money and what we're able to do. So there's another question.
Try and show people how to do it ethically as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing is people have to understand the ethics behind it to do it safely. You can do some stupid shit with it. And that's why it has to be kind of a controlled environment. There's another question about the book. What is that book again?
Copywriting Secrets is the one that I mentioned. And then Clint probably referenced any of the ones from his others. There's
it's Traffic Secrets, Expert Secrets, and .com.
.com. Yeah, .com, Expert, and Traffic Secrets. Just get the box set,
Yeah.
So what link types are you using now, Clint? Anything that you like the best right now, or
say again?
Link types. What link types do you like the best?
PBN,
right
man, still PBNs. I use SEO Autopilot.
Pre-sale pages, edits, whatever the hell you want to call them. They've been around since I've been around in the market for 20 years. It's not new. The niche edit thing came out 2 years ago, something like that, but it's just a rebranding of it.
Yep.
And they work extremely well, but there is nothing like controlling your own freaking profile. You cannot, if you know how to do it and you do it well, there's no way to do and recreate this because now you have your own niche edits anyways. And
if you're always building, you've got your own edit network anyway.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're faster. They're more powerful. You can shut them on and off as you need them.
You can set your calendar for them too.
Yeah,
and you set up a whole link building campaign with a good VA and a good network. And
that's actually one of the things we're really going to be going into with cloaking is how to strategically use your networks to actually leverage everything to its fullest. And once you start understanding the way the tech works, like when the tech's laid out in front of you and you're shown like, here, this is what you use to do this, and this is how you implement this. You can get this stuff done in seconds or minutes and have, it's almost like you're a Jedi basically. Like no joke, you are a Jedi. What's up, Josh? How you been, man? You're a Jedi that is using the Force to do shit that people don't think is possible, you can read the fucking...
This isn't the site you were looking for.
Exactly. And honestly, it's kind of like looking at you and reading your mind because I can look into your browser and see where you've been browsing and start to change your reality on my sites because I know what you do. And this is why it has to be extremely ethical, but it is power to know what demographics you're looking at. I can tell, I can look at this, and we do our campaigns and we look at the demographic, we look at the household income. I mean, I'm really happy because we just found a source of a guy who can send us 5,000 hits a day from people that are 250K and more. And I know that traffic has the ability to spend. Now with that knowledge and a tool set and understanding of SEO, I have a lot of direction I can take when I craft the campaigns and when Brad sits down and we start looking at the funnels. And understanding funnels, understanding the way the technology works, pixels, shit like this, it's extremely important to understand it, to be able to move into stuff like last week talking to Steve, where we're talking about pixels this, pixels that. But I mean, campaigns Brad and I have run are, we're promoting we're promoting Amazon and shoving them over to buy over on Amazon for clientele or partners. But at the same time, they're getting pixeled and that person wants nothing to do with it. But now we know this demographic, we're getting thousands of visits through this. We have that data now. We can do what we want with it. So we can send it into like fucking Bob or do some shit like that and build our own affiliate program, throw our own leads out. And that type of shit makes it a different game than just SEO. And I think that's why I've always liked lead gen so much, is because you have the ability, once you get the ability to place a pixel of after the conversion, it's like, yeah, you got the conversion, but that little revenue stream of the affiliate market is just a fucking feeder for your businesses and for whatever the hell else you're doing, right? So I guess we can stop talking about that now and get back into content, but my rant's over.
Well, one more question on that, and I wanted to ask you last week. I think it was last week you started this, but when you're doing the pixels, when is the time that you put it on there? Do you go like when you're first starting the project, you get it on there and start building the audience?
Yeah, you're gonna throw it on right away. Mm-hmm. Absolutely right away. And there's stuff we'll talk about, like when you're doing paid advertising. Like we're gonna talk about. I mean, I can tell when a fucking a Google search tech is on my site and they're looking at my site to look at it for a manual spam.
Yeah, digging through the logs. Yeah.
Yep. I can tell when Google's there, and I can make sure they don't see anything bad. I mean, this is the kind of tech you want. There's defensive and offensive tactics, and and there's unconventional shit too. So you kind of pull all that together, and you focus on that line that you have on ethics and the dark and light side of the forest, and you can craft a campaign that's extremely effective that way. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we touched on it with web traffic takeover with Steve, and then with Hernan. There's some of that in there, and but that's also how old now, Brad?
At least 2-3 years.
Yeah. So it's pretty much ancient at this point compared to new tech, just because, well, I mean, it's timeless, I should say, because we haven't changed to what we're doing for freaking years, but it's shit moves forward. And honestly, with passages coming out, everything just started working better, dude. That was a great update. The change
a little bit, Mike. I know you've referenced it a few times.
I believe I just think it's fucking shingles. I do. I think it's shingles. I don't think there's anything special to it. I think they've advanced.
Health, Mike. I mean,
what's that?
I didn't ask about your health, your shingles problem.
Yeah, no shit. I do. I think you guys know what a shingle is, or am I just fucking saying something that sounds fucking stupid?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
a shingle is a piece of text. It's a string. It's a piece of text they're analyzed to see what the damn topic's about. Passages, they say they can read the sentence, the paragraph, and assign it a rank score. Well, they've been doing this shit for years. They're just talking about it now and making a big deal about it. They usually talk about AI, and it's just fucking math. So I think it's literally a patent from 2005 or something like that, maybe 4. But I'm not positive. It just looks that way in the way it's responding to content and linking units and shit like we're talking about. It's just enhanced everything like insane. Yeah, Nick, I think when we want to talk about when it's coming out, Brad, because they're asking. What's up, Vic?
We're shooting for this month.
Yeah,
we're get everything together, because Mike and I have to go back and forth and decide what we want to put in, what we want to not put in, what's ethical to put in, all that type of stuff. So
yeah, we're crafting and pulling out the stuff that that I kind of, Brad, find a little bit too like on the line for people. I don't want to be a part of anything like that. So we're kind of videos are popping out every day, but so it'll be within the next couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Special day of
part of your membership, or are they gonna find it at a course, or?
Yeah, we're
about it in our membership, but yeah, it would probably be something separate because of the tech involved in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we don't like to provide something without the technology to do it. So we're not doing a theory
course
or
theory.
So we're providing the software with some friends of ours so that people can actually implement it. And we're so it's a coupling of the theory and strategy, and I should say it's a coupling of the tactics and also technical. Like I think Brad's going to be digging into like marketing funnels with the tech behind it, and I'll be digging into the actual cloaking, and Brad will be digging into that as well with the tech behind it, so people can implement what we're talking about. And it's graphical, so it's easy. You don't have to be a programmer. You can drag and drop.
It'll be the first time we've ever been required, at least by my moral compass, to put in an ethics section as well.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I would have anything with ethics.
I didn't either. But I'm literally up at 3 a.m.
Didn't even have an ethics course in it. So I mean, but yeah, this was, I felt crucial to have that in there.
Yeah. So no, it looks like you guys are going to be separating me from more of my money. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun, dude. It's going to be a fun thing. It really is. It's fun shit, dude. It's a lot of fun. But
well,
back to
the cool thing with black hat, or like the grayer, darker shade of gray hat, is once you have that down, once you're playing in that arena, and then you go back to the regular stuff, it seems simple, you know.
It does.
At that point, it makes all of that stuff. It strengthens your knowledge and your abilities in other areas. You can bring that back in and still remain, you know, white, light gray hat.
Yeah, I think for me, for Black Hat, I learn more. I learn more about concepts. I learn like a deeper understanding of things, so I know why I'm doing the white hat basic stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep.
No,
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to go to a freaking. We've had clients that employ 13 freaking attorneys in their business just to do business. I'm not going to these guys and breaking a damn law because those guys are going to tear my ass up, right?
Mhm.
So, but understanding how it works, you have to. I mean, that's why we were talking last week with Steve about go out and build a damn website. You know, I'm talking to some guys that are brand new in the industry. I'm like, just go build a damn blog, write 20 posts, then go ask questions, you know? And that's the only way to
And
gain
also, if you're just getting into SEO, make a blog about something that you're already spending money on. Like if you're into cars or building cars, do that. Like have that, it'll get traffic. And then, you know, dumb shit like that. And then you can write all that crap off. I'm sure, you know, that goes on your statement at the end of the year, right, Mike? All your painting and stuff.
It does. Absolutely it does. I because you can't use anything, honestly, you can't use it for personal means. Everything I buy is for the business. It gets recorded. It goes onto YouTube, and it is only used for the business.
Did you write off your chicken coop? Just curious.
I did. I'm a farm, bro.
Yeah. He sends me.
Actually, I'm building a tax strategy around that, dude, and it's fucking sick, dude.
He sends me this this gate. What is that? What do you call that? The big rolls that you sent me.
Oh, it's utility fabric. It's 100 feet of 6 foot tall wire welded together.
Mesh wire that's rolled up. He sends me a picture. He's like, I like this one. It's a little cheaper. Blah blah blah. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not your wife, dude. But he of course reads his wife's text about as well as he reads mine. So he keeps fucking sending me pictures. I'm like, dude. He's like, what do you think? He's like, I'm open to suggestions. I'm like, suggestions on what? He's like,
It was funny, dude.
I
was looking for a cheaper roll, dude. It's too funny.
Yeah, if you would have done that to me, I would have found the worst, ugliest fence ever. I'd be like, "That's the one I want."
Hey, Josh. Hey, Fletch. There's a question out there about OMG 2020. I don't know what's going on over there, but if you want to answer that in the chat, dude, that would be cool. Because I mean, they're looking for information. Let's see. We got some questions. Let's hit some questions up so people get them answered.
Let me answer this one first. No, I don't own ODYS. Definitely not. But they do provide a good service, so I just want to cover that one off. Just in case anyone makes out like I claimed that I owned it somewhere or whatever. But
I will say right now that I've been hanging out with them in a certain group for some years now, and they know what they're doing. They're not joking around. They're not playing games. It's not a joke business. If you want someone that can hold your hand and make shit work for you, they can make shit work for you for sure. And
they're just good people. Like
they are good people, dude.
People. Like I talked to several of the team members because they're sponsoring Rockstars, and it's just good dudes to work with and talk to you.
Yeah, they're chill.
Yeah.
They offer a solid product too. I mean, it's not like some of the vendors I used to buy off of when I was first getting started. You know, when you're just buying off a PR, you know, back in like what?
All right, then I'm going to say this because Josh answered that. The OMG of 2020 we're launching in a week and a half. Making it.
We
you
also
call it whatever you want.
Crosstown SEO.
So I was actually looking at my logs yesterday at some of my EC2 sites that are like 5 years old, and they're in my cloaker, and they're just shoving traffic down that shit, dude. It's fucking funneling it like crazy in them.
It works with a caveat. Be careful because once you start getting traffic, make sure that it's convertible traffic that you're going to be able to make money from.
We actually were the largest EC2 and Azure customers in the United States. and they fucking hit us hard, dude.
It's a very good way to it's a very good way to spend a bunch of money when you're using the cloud services and you're not keeping a check on usage. Basically.
We've built a lot of mass site software, a lot of cloakers, a lot of shit like this. And I tell everyone on every project from day one, analyze the cost on the transfer and everything right now. And they always fail to do it. And they always end up fucking the project up because they failed to analyze the cost. And I'm sorry for everyone that I've worked with.
It will get it out of control very quickly. Yeah. And we've seen it happen at least 2 or 3 times.
3 times at least on a major scale. On a major scale. We're talking about installing like tens of thousands, if not more, and maybe 5,000 to 20,000 sites a day in some cases. And when you're doing that on a domain by domain basis, like you're thinking of like Azure on a level that is not enterprise, and that's sustainable. Yeah. But when you start to get to an enterprise level, like we've been developing for years, it's a pain in the ass. There's a reason why Brad and I avoid development like the fucking plague, dude, because it always costs us money. We always make mistakes and we always get fucked, you know? And so we kind of pull away from that, you know?
Next up, can Clint recommend schema practices for affiliate websites?
That's great.
It's that's hard. It's a hard thing to say. Is like, what are you, how is your site formed? Do you have an e-commerce site that is actually an affiliate site? Do you have are you doing the best drones of 2020? I saw Craig did a post about that the other day, and that'll make the competition over there harder now. Thanks a lot, Dick. It's just, so for the most part, for general, most people I know of are doing article type content for affiliate. So you want to do article schema, obviously. You want to build that out the best way you can. And I can't stress this enough. If you're using a plugin to put your schema in there, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, there's, if Clint's jumping into this stuff we're going to be doing and the community starts building, I'd jump in there, because when we start getting to fragmentation and certain things that we're going to be talking about, the expertise that Clint has is going to add a hell of a lot to some of these campaigns, and I'm actually really excited about it. So, I think there's going to be some fun shit that comes out of what we're doing right now for the industry. It's going to change things a little bit, I'm pretty sure.
And plus, schema is still the Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
With all the machine learning, AI, whatever the hell you want to call it, schema feeds that what it needs, and you're positioning yourself in the right place. So if you're doing it right and you're getting beyond, the rank maths and the Yoast and all that stuff, and actually writing good schema, you could, knock out 90% of your work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the left schema very much to the end, and it's working well for me in the pages I've implemented it on. So
yeah,
I've always just been one of those guys that's too lazy to fucking do it. But I found a guy that I trade off advice for with him doing my schema. So I let him manually do it, because I've tried all those fucking shitty plugins, and fuck all works, man.
I know 3 guys right now, and I'm one of them, that is actually selling handwritten, really good schema, and it's Chris Labonte, Terry, and myself. We sell that handwritten stuff, and that works.
Brian has been doing that as well. I haven't talked to him for a while, but the good shit, the good schema, like I have some templates that we've written over the years, but I don't stay up on it like I would like to if I had time. It's just not, I just don't, it's not one of the things that interests me enough to do it. I think in this market, you have to have a passion for certain little aspects, and that's kind of where you craft your expertise. Because schema's bitching, man. I've been reading about the semantic web for like 10 years and been waiting for all this shit to happen. What's going on right now, Brad and I started developing. It started probably 6-7 years ago, even though he was in a different spot. We weren't working together. But what happened with passages is what I looked at with Josh back when I lived in San Diego 8 years ago. And I've been crafting the way I do SEO for what I thought was coming, and it is happening right now. So it's an exciting time for what's going on, because if you understand that Google is not a search engine anymore and they're a curation engine, you're going to start understanding why they want to understand a piece of content. And you start thinking about zero-click environments, you're going to start understanding they're going to start taking away your traffic. But there's ways to mitigate that with what we're talking about. So it's important to like realize where this is going. They've been taking this direction for a long time. And this is the first year they're no longer a search engine. They were half and half last year, in my opinion. This year, they're no longer a search engine. They're a curation engine. And now that they've put out passages, they've taken another step to taking your content and putting it up on their site and making money off of your content. So get nothing wrong. Their terms of service is complete fucking trash. They break it all the time. They take your shit. They publish it. They take your traffic by keeping it in AMP and keeping it on your fucking on their website. So just don't care about their terms of service, dude. Just don't let them know you're breaking it. Because honestly, they're doing it to you.
For sure.
Honestly.
If you want a validation of that, just go do a search on your mobile phone and you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No shit, dude.
We've got a few guys asking where they can find more info on your stuff. What was your site again, Clint?
Whatranks.com is where my schema stuff is at.
We'll try to drop that in the description, Craig, for this one, maybe.
I'll put that in. Yeah.
Yeah, Craig's got the links. I PM'd them in Facebook. He can use those links. Might as well.
There's a question in there about which one would you guys choose, 1,000 on traffic or backlinks? And it depends on my mood at that time. If I want quick money, like that moment, I'm probably going to want to take the traffic because you can use it to rank with anyways. But
is it targeted traffic? Is it targeted traffic?
Yeah.
That's
what I'm assuming that, yeah. So if it's targeted, yes.
Is legit as well, is where it should be. Otherwise, you're just throwing it all away.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have the CRL locked down to a T and everything before you're doing that. $1,000 in links can take you a long freaking way. So it really depends on what you're doing. If you're just doing quick affiliate, I would go for the traffic personally for the conversion. If you're doing a long-term play, then I'd go for the backlinks.
Crosstown SEO is asking if are you doing any updates to your schema course, Clint?
I kind of had like a mental meltdown, so I had to go up to the woods and get away from technology for a while. So, but there'll be new templates coming out for different target sites. The first one is law, because I promised Brad I was going to do one for an attorney site. So, and then as the course will update as schema.org updates, not Google, because those are running on two different APIs and implementations. So. But as schema.org updates, and we can learn some more things out of that. That'll be up. I'll be adding more and more to it. I just added a new video last week or the week before, so my new articles templates in there.
Do you have it auto updating, or are you just updating off their updates and stuff?
No, I what does it work? Can I apply it? Does it fit into the application, and then is it going to give you a boost or not? So when I look at schema, I look at it from a keyword. Think about it as a keyword stuffing perspective, and that's how I leverage it. So, but if it's just putting in some extra dates and all that stuff, then it's not really helping the relevancy of the page, in my opinion. So, but they're adding new cool things, and Speakable is the newest thing that I'm kind of actually enjoying. So,
nice. Can you explain it a little bit? I don't think I've looked into it.
Speakable, it's kind of an accessibility thing. So, and it also helps with the voice assistants and all that stuff. So if you you can mark up the passage in there as Speakable, or you can mark up, in my case, I'm just using it for the heading, so a reader can go down heading to heading and know what's going on the page. And that helps someone else out. And, do they want to look more into it? So
I've gotten out of manual actions by claiming I did shit for accessibility, and it's a good thing to think about. Not only from I can see all the implication on ranking in different types of information retrieval, like voice assistant and shit from that, but also I used to use scalable im and flash replacement, which is basically you take a flash and
He's dropping knowledge bombs right now. Those are the best part of the show. Right
whatever he's saying is fucking good.
Yep.
Waiting for it to come back. But anyways, I've gotten tons of manual actions for the replacement there. So I got manual actions for that. And basically, when you come to them and you say, well, I did it because of a screen reader, you can get out of those manual actions. So, it's about for Google before you shit.
Yeah, Mike put a quarter in the bed on accident instead of the internet bill. So he's sitting there like shaking, man.
Dude, 2 more days until I get my connection.
We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
Well, it's gonna be nice.
You're trading a connection for like all that radio crap going into your brain.
Yeah,
but
I don't need my brain anyways, dude.
Yeah, you don't want to live without internet anyway, so I think it's a fair trade-off. So
Nope.
unless you're like Clint going to the cabin and smoking cigars and drinking bourbon.
Yeah, I had to.
A 6th bonded SIM card.
I get mine from the dollar store, dude. My flip phones come from the dollar store.
Mine too. Where the hell did that go?
They always look at me like I'm a drug dealer too.
Yeah, that's what they think.
They do. Guess who gets my old ones? My kids.
Yep. Yeah, they can sit on the toilet and watch
Play
it.
with
I don't
them,
care if we
dude.
drop it in. Yeah. You know what sucks is one time I accidentally couldn't because
Yes.
I logged into YouTube Kids for one of the kids, and then I was trying to add someone to a new YouTube account, right? So they're like, this activity looks odd. You're gonna have to authenticate with this Verizon phone. I was like, I don't even have Verizon. I was like, oh shit, I had to go dig it out of one of the cars, like because they took it on a road trip. This like random phone that was connected to my Google account. Yeah, I would go to Corey Rose for
If
Shopify.
you go find Corey Rose, searchgeeks.com. He's probably the best Shopify dude I've ever seen, man.
Yeah. He makes a ton of money on Shopify.
Kills it.
He kind of looks like Randy as well. So
yeah, he does. He got that bald, beautiful head.
So
I would absolutely go to Corey if you're using Shopify. Yeah, no doubt.
Especially if you got something to partner with him too. He's typically open to that.
Speaking of, I need to go talk to them about firearms and ammo sales, dude. I forgot to do that. I'll do that after this show.
223s.
Yeah,
what do you shoot, Clint?
Say again?
What do you shoot?
Pistols is 40s mainly. I got a 45. I can knock out the center of a CD case with that thing. And then I got some rifles, just the standard AR-15s. And then
Craig, I see your face, bro.
I know.
Craig and I have machetes. So
He's trying to protect his channel.
I love guns, man. And you guys are just saying, like, what do you shoot? And I've no fucking clue. The best thing I've ever shot's a water gun. It's I would love to do what you guys are doing, man.
Well, next time you come to Arizona, I'll take you up to gun site and just shit.
That's what I've done in
John has a question about nitro.
Yeah, asking
nitro. I've used nitro for freaking years. I've always had good experiences with Dory's networks and shit. So are you using it right now, Craig?
Yeah, I'm using it on clients, and it's awesome. And it's because honestly, I'm not really a big buy PBNs from other things because you never know who you're gonna get, and how burnout the network is and all that other stuff. But Dory, she's actually testing them and keeping those updated and adding these sites and removing the bad ones. And she even thought about turning the bad ones that she found into a negative SEO network, which I thought was pretty fun. Yeah. So, I have good success with that network. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good network, dude. I don't use it anymore because we have a very large network, but sometimes you just got to go get fresh blood for your campaigns, depending on. Sometimes you run out of shit.
Well, honestly, in my case, I'm just cheap. Like if I'm gonna build a PBN site, it's gonna be a money site, and I'm gonna put time and effort into it. It's gonna do good things, but and it's gonna pay for itself. but you scale that and it gets a little bit harder, right? So
well, essentially that becomes your PBN network becomes your tier one, and then you back that up with stuff like Nitro and whatever link service you want to use. Yeah, edits, get me links.
It's a good way to launder your relevance, and that's what I mean. That's all we do is launder relevance, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I answered a question to someone today. A couple people asked about, I have a page that has Spanish and English on it, and the backlink's going to be this language. And I said, just toss out the idea that the language even matters, dude. It's the topical relevance that matters, and they know what the words mean. It's just another keyword at that point,
That's why I think a lot of people are missing the boat on the Chinese. They look at and see Chinese stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's Chinese."
Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Translate. What are they talking about? Hey, if that's related, then they got it.
I always throw it in the translate. Yeah,
dude, you can find some SEO gems on Chinese and Arabic sites, dude.
Yeah,
like straight up.
Yeah. Hey, we got a few minutes left. You want to tell us about your upcoming event, Clint?
Oh, SEO Rockstars. It's SEORockstars.xyz if you want to check it out. It's coming up. Mike and Brad will be there. Craig's going to be there. And then I just decided, because I was helping Dory out this year, I reached for the stars, man. And she's friends with Perry Belcher. He said yes. We got Mike Long, Brian Dean. We were like, what the hell is he? And he said yes, too. So
nice.
There's a whole bunch
Everyone's sitting at home and wants some type of interaction, whether, you're teaching or you're learning,
They're coming to see Brad.
What we're going to do for it is you're going to have there'll be two essentially conferences being used, right? So we're going to host the actual sessions on GoToWebinar, and then you can come in on Remo and actually, interact with people. And if Craig wants to show up and talk to people after his speech, then he's got the Remo room and people can reach out and interact.
Nice.
Do I have to
figure out what day I'm talking? Because I do not know.
Say again?
But I said I need to figure out what day I'm talking because I do not know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I figure I'll get where the hell are you? I'm like, put my pants back on.
Yeah, no, pants are optional this year, dude. Pants are optional.
Yeah, you just can't stand up, Dory said.
You can stand up. I mean, seriously.
I don't have any
cards more. Yeah, it's going to be solid. I was very impressed with the guest list. I asked them to change out my effing picture about 5 times, and they didn't. So that's why they haven't gotten slides in case they ask.
You got a new picture on there now.
What's that?
Yeah, there's a new picture on there now.
Is it? I was making fun of that picture in my head.
It looks like you're almost leaning against each other.
I just like how they just randomly thrown in SEO Balcuzzi as if that's a place.
I know,
dude.
What was the link?
SEO Rockstars.
XYZ, yeah.
Reminds me of some spam campaigns, the .xyz portion, not the event.
Yeah. Is the Rockstars plural or singular?
Plural. Rockstars.
Oh, they put us in a picture together, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's what I was hoping.
I'm hugging you.
Remember the one that we did with Jordan where it made him look like it was your kid?
That looks really creepy. That picture they did.
That's us, dude. I'm like, what the
I
hell?
saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, the people are looking forward to hearing.
Everyone go to that.
Hug each other and send him a fucking picture, dude.
It looks like I'm Joe Biden whispering in your ear.
There's a question about the different packages on SEO Rockstars. What's the difference?
Good question.
You get more stuff, right?
Yeah, you get some more. It's really the recordings, buying them now versus buying them later. And then if you go with that SEO package, you get a bunch of links and stuff off of her network. So you can test that out. So
I'd take the links personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking at some of these fucking speakers, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was because every time it seems like the Rockstars was always kind of the same people, you know what I mean? And even I get tired of hearing the same people over and over again. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's reach out to them people. And honestly, I'm looking forward to hearing Jerry Rest. When I first started SEO, that dude was talking at a conference, and I've been following him ever since. He's a master link builder, dude, and PBNs and all that stuff. And it really pisses me off that I can't get drunk with the guy. So,
who's
I guess
that?
you can hop on a Zoom call.
Jerry West. Yeah.
I don't know him. Eric Ward was always my favorite link builder. I miss him.
Yeah, Eric was good too. And then Dixon Jones from InLinks, get to hear him. You know, that's really timely for stuff that's going on right now. And we got a bunch of sales guys. So, you know, knowing SEO is great, but if you can't turn it into money, then you're kind of screwed.
That's what people forget about, unfortunately. That's why
A lot of that.
We talk about, you know, building streams, revenue streams. You know, that's what I look at every day. You know, how can I do that? So
yeah. And then I asked Dino to come for Facebook stuff too. So he's kind of the odd man out there, but Dino's in there for talking about Facebook, and he's done a lot of stuff on getting clients and kind of diversifying out of just doing SEO stuff. And I thought would be good.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast, Dino Gomez, man.
Before we go, I need to tell everyone that a deer died in my field, and then like I saw a bald eagle in my field yesterday. It was bitching.
You should catch it and stuff it. Can you do that?
I have a buddy that was driving home from the bar drunk, and he found a dead bald eagle in the road, and he got out and started picking the shit up. And then the cops came, and it's illegal to possess the fucking dead bald eagle and the feathers.
Sure, yeah, I wouldn't touch that.
He went to jail for the fucking. They didn't touch him for the DUI, but they touched him for the bald eagle.
Fuck.
It's crazy. All right, I think that's that. So SEO Rockstars,
yep.
And ODYS. And next week, we're going to be going over some more of what we're talking about when it comes to cloaking. A little bit more.
Don't tease us, Mike. You have to deliver this time.
Yeah.
We are.
Every week.
Brad was reviewing videos yesterday, and he gave me the go-ahead. So
the funnel better be ready, damn it.
That's on me. So
that's the only reason I watched like the last 4 or 5 episodes. He's gonna come out with cloaking. I'm getting ready for the cloaking. Let's and then there you go.
I'm a team.
He's cloaking your interest.
Yeah.
How it works.
And then pixeling the shit out of you with all his shit. Yeah. I know how it works.
He came out with his Scottish talk.
He texting the shite out of him.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming today.
Cheers,
Thanks for the
everyone.
time.
Yeah.
Peace.
See you later.